Chapter 1. I was born in 1989 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I had both parents. I had siblings. I was the youngest out of all my siblings. We lived in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Goes by 336 if you're familiar with the area. What was it like growing up with my mom and dad and my siblings? For the sake of the story, I'm gonna use different names for my siblings, just in case my siblings don't want this story to be told. I grew up just like any other young kid. I went to school. I pretty much was into gadgets, toys, and things, anything another little kid would like, right? About my parents, my dad worked 2 jobs, and my mom, she was, at the time I didn't know it, she's pretty much a career student because she never worked. She took care of us. It was me, I had an oldest brother, and I had another brother, and one more. So it was 5 of us together. In this one house, we used to stay off of Ada Avenue. If you're not familiar with, that's more like the north side of Winston-Salem. My dad worked for the city, and he also worked for the airport. He would go to work for the city like 6 in the morning to 2:30, and then he'd go to his other job like 4 o'clock to 12. So between that time, me and my siblings had to play with each other, and my mom did the best that she can, to my knowledge. Because when I was younger, you couldn't tell me nothing because I didn't know. There were days where we didn't have groceries. Let me rephrase that. There were days that we had groceries that we wasn't familiar, accustomed to. We used to have a lot of bread and water, right? My mom used to make sugar water. She used to put sugar in the water and gave it a little flavor. When it came to the bread, we pretty much had bread and cheese. So I pretty much had cheese toast a lot growing up. My dad would come home, it'd be so late, and I'd be so tired, so I couldn't really see him like that. I would go to school, and I went to Middle Springs Elementary School. And at Middle Springs Elementary School, I looked forward to breakfast and lunch because I knew that I was gonna have meals for those 2 days. Understanding that, I didn't even understand that my life was gonna be interesting as I got older. Let me tell you about my siblings. I had one sibling. He passed away at the age of 24. Man, I tell you, this one sibling I had, he was amazing. My older brother would play a music song for him, and he'll listen to that song on the radio all day, and by the time my brother came back home, he knew all the lyrics. He was great with memory. But when he was born premature, and he didn't even have long that he was going to live. But he made it all the way to 24. Interesting, right? I had another brother that didn't speak at all. I'm not sure if he did sign language either. He just had a way to communicate that we understood it. He was strong. He used to take the car keys and break them with his hand. And when he had those moments where he get mad, he liked to go outside and just run very fast. Probably could have been in the Olympics, that's how fast he was. My other brother would have to chase him down to get him to come back home. Then I had another brother. He was interesting. He was kind of the one that I was like closest to a degree. He was like Doughboy. When I think of Doughboy, I think of like Boys in the Hood type. Wasn't a bad kid at all. He had an appetite though, and that was cool. But when we wasn't getting no food on the regular, we looked forward to the weekend. Our dad used to take us to the flea market. And if you're from Winston-Salem, you know that flea market, they got those sugar donuts. We used to get them sugar donuts, and it mean the world to us. Also, we would go to McDonald's. See, I was young. I was getting Happy Meals. My brother was probably a couple years older than me, and he was already getting Big Mac meals. Didn't understand it, Didn't understand that that was too much, but we were just excited to eat. We never seen our mom and dad argue, right? But if there was issues, we wouldn't have known it.